What it do? What it do? What it do? Y'all already know what the vibe is, man. 888 peace and prosperity. You heard me? But look, man, we about to marinate straight into this juice. You heard me? Man, listen. Y'all see the glow. Y'all see the flow. Y'all see life. You heard me? I want to chop it up real quick. You heard me? Shoot the breeze with my chosen ones. Everybody that's in the tribe. And shout out to the trolls. You know what I'm saying? What don't kill us only make us stronger. We don't ask for a lighter load. We ask for a stronger back. You understand me? Now I want to chop it up with the chosen ones, right? All my chosen ones know we got this divine light. We got this divine call, and we got this spiritual armor, right? It's many forms, many fashions, many hats, many coats. You understand what I'm saying? Now, when you're not in alignment, you know what I'm saying? You're on the wrong side of the town. You're on the wrong side of the equation. The equator itself, you feel me? That's when you start to notice a lot of things just not going the way it's supposed to go. It's not being the way it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that all of us chosen ones, we all know we got lights, right? You know what I'm saying? And God continuously feed that light. Pour into that light. Water that light. You understand what I'm saying? And here it is, you got the world. They just want to take. You know, but you know when you're not in alignment with yourself, when you're not where you're supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? Because as a chosen one, our journey was never to be stagnant. To stay in one place. You know what I'm saying? Because we got that glow, we got that light, you know what I'm saying? We got that energy. But at the end of the day, you got to protect that light, you know what I'm saying? Nobody else can really receive that light because a lot of people really not putting in that work to have a connection with source. A lot of people not putting in that work to have a communication with source, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people not respecting this vehicle that they was given. So they wonder why they don't got the protection. They wonder why they don't got the presence of the Most High. They want to do it their way. You know what I'm saying? They want it when they want it. You heard me? They want to think that they got it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, in the image, we are gods and goddesses in the flesh. But in reality and spirituality, you understand what I'm saying? We are under the Most High. We are under the source. You understand what I'm saying? And when you're not in alignment, you know what I'm saying? You're not where you're supposed to be. You working at a job that you're not supposed to be at. Because every time you work in a job, you heard me, where you underpaid, undervalued, underrespected, sometimes that's like you spitting in the face of the Most High, you know what I'm saying? And to each his own, you hear me? But see me, I'd rather shed the last of my tears than to spit in the face of the Most High, you know what I'm saying? So I'm a, you know, when one door closed, another one open, you know what I'm saying? So right now, your financial situation might not be where you want it. You know what I'm saying? You might be living in your car. You might be living out your backpack. You might be living on the streets, you know what I'm saying? You might be temporarily without a permanent shelter, you dig? But at the end of the day, you got to keep pushing with one door closed, another one open, you know what I'm saying? Now, when you working somewhere and you know, you hear me, you know you underpaid. You know, you hear me, you know you undervalued. You understand what I'm saying? And they ain't respecting you. They giving you a hard-ass time. That's the signs, that's the synchronicities that let you know, like, hey, it's time to skedaddle, you heard me? It's time to skirt up out that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, bro, I'd rather shed the last of my tears on the garment of the Most High than to spit in his face. So when you're trying to live in this world, knowing that we are not of this world, you understand what I'm saying? That hinder you. You know what I'm saying? That goes to show how much you walking in faith and not what's in your face, you hear me? Because you really got to be, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to think this and think that. You want to know. You know what I'm saying? Because the more you know, the more you sure, that's the more you solidify. You heard me? That's the more everything in your life gonna be copacetic. You know what I'm saying? Because you got that solid foundation. And it might not be today. It might not be tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It might not pop this year. It might not pop next month. It might not pop next week. You hear me? But at the end of the day, you got to keep on popping in with that shit that keep you popping, because guess what? God made us all an individual. God made us all individuals. You understand what I'm saying? Now, what works for me may not works for you. What works for you may not works for me. You understand what I'm saying? But what you could do, no one else could copy. No one else could do. You know what I'm saying? The ink levels might run low. You understand what I'm saying? But what you could output, you know what I'm saying, nobody could put in. You know what I'm saying? What you put in, nobody could output. So why settle for less? You know what I'm saying? We gotta take care of ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, we all need a pocket full of dead faces. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep our face clean, just to keep our face fresh, just to keep some food in our face. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all need a pocket full of dead people. You heard me? But at the end of the day, you can't kill yourself behind them. You can't be right there in the graveyard with them. You know what I'm saying? You got to utilize these dead people to keep you alive. But when you're not receiving your worth, you understand what I'm saying, and you settling for less, you know what I'm saying? That's like you spitting in the face of the Most High. That's like you telling God, like, you know what? Yeah, I got bills, I got things I got to take care of, but right now, I'm going to stay at this fucking job where they terrorizing my fucking ass. They're not respecting you like you're supposed to. They're not paying you like they supposed to. They might be gang stalking you on that bitch, you know what I'm saying? And that's the signs to let you know you got to go. Because I remember the story I used to always tell my brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying? When I used to raise them and shit. I raised a couple sets of my brothers and sisters, right? So I used to always tell them, like, man, look, I know it might take long, it might not be forever. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you are what you eat. You're going to get out what you put in. What you put in, you're going to get out. You understand what I'm saying? You are what you eat. So what you ate today, you're going to smell like, you know what I'm saying? You're going to smell like that tomorrow. What you ate yesterday, you smell like that today. You know what I'm saying? So I told my little brothers and sisters, I was like, man, look, it was a story about this thief. He was still $350,000 worth of paintings. He was still that shit. Even more. Sometimes he was still paintings that was worth like 700,000, 750,000. You feel me? And then peep this shit out. You hear me? He had to go do time, right? I think he spent like 5 to 10 years in jail. You hear me? Then when he was in jail, he started painting. And then the paintings that he was making in jail and shit, he sold for $500 million. Compared to the shit he had to go sit down and go steal. You understand what I'm saying? Now, when you cheat yourself and you don't treat yourself, that type of shit's happen. You know what I'm saying? When you in a relationship, the Most High don't want you in. You know what I'm saying? You're not equally yoked with this man. You're not equally yoked with that woman. You understand what I'm saying? The Most High gonna continue to throw wrenches in the motherfucking motor. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna let the car go smooth. It ain't gonna be no smooth ride home. You understand what I'm saying? Because hot water don't like cold water. Cold water don't like hot water. You understand what I'm saying? At one part of the time, in one section, the sun got it all to itself. And then in another section, the moon got the sky to itself. You understand what I'm saying? And everybody got to play their part. And you got to play your part. You heard me? Because when you don't utilize your God-given abilities, when you don't utilize the things that money can't buy, when you got the opportunity to do the things that if money never existed, you know what I'm saying? If taxes never existed, bills never existed, what would you do? What would you be doing? You know what I'm saying? What would you be, you know what I'm saying, intrigued into spending your time into doing? You know what I'm saying? Whatever you would do, you heard me? And money didn't exist, that's what you need to be doing. You heard me? Yeah, you got to have your little job, part-time job, full-time job, go to school, go to college, go to trade school, whichever the endeavor, you understand what I'm saying? Whatever put another notch in your belt. You heard me? But at the end of the day, don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. You know, don't spit in the face of the Most High. It's best if you shed the last of your tears on his garment. You know what I'm saying? To each his own, because You know, you going to this job where they don't give a fuck about you. They not paying you right. They stressing you the fuck out. And you got bills and you got shit to take care of. You could die on that fucking job. You know what I'm saying? Like you could literally lose. See what God planned, no man could touch. You know what I'm saying? But it's like this: if you don't use it, you gonna lose it. You hear me? So when you're not utilizing that God-given ability, and the Most High see that you really not going forward with it, you understand what I'm saying? You can't complain when you getting pushed back. You can't complain when shit ain't shaking for you. You can't complain when shit ain't going your way. You know what I'm saying? Because the Most High see you not utilizing your gift. So don't be mad when somebody else get that spiritual gift that you wasn't utilizing. You know what I'm saying? Like the show must go on. You heard me? The movie must go on. You heard me? Straight up. Like, whether you want to play your role or not, if you don't want to play your role, then don't complain when you get ejected. You know what I'm saying? Don't complain when somebody else utilize that idea you had, but you ain't capitalized off it. You know what I'm saying? You was on some lowercase shit. You ready? Don't get mad because you spaced out, because you backspace, but you ain't get to hit go. You know what I'm saying? You ain't get to hit escape, control, alt, delete, and get out your situation and get in a better situation because you get content. You know what I'm saying? We grateful, you heard me? But guess what? We'll never settle for less. We ain't perfectionists, but we always working to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? We always working to better ourselves and to be the greatest version of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And see, when you're not really utilizing that fire, you're not staying amped, you're not staying hype. You know what I'm saying? Because look, man, ain't nobody come and hold your hand. Ain't nobody come and save you. You got to be your own cheerleader. You got to be your own coach. You heard me? You gotta create your own method so that you can have that inspiration. Because motivation ain't gonna get you too far. You know what I'm saying? Motivation ain't gonna get you too far. I like bumping the whispers. You heard me? But when you in the mood, that ain't gonna get you too far. You got to stay consistent. You got to stay persistent. You got to stay locked in. No matter who the fuck in your corner, no matter who the fuck trying to corner you, you got to go in. You heard me? It's now or never, bro. You did. We all gonna have to turn in our coloring book. We all gonna have to turn in our piece of paper, our test that the Most High graded us on. You know what I'm saying? And everybody else, they getting graded easily. They getting graded different. You know what I'm saying? You always like, why they get away with this? Why they get to do this at the job? You know what I'm saying? Because they mediocre. Because they low lives, they no lives. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to do what everybody else do. You understand what I'm saying? Because a leader never follow nobody. A leader lead. You know what I'm saying? That's the job of a follower to follow. But a lot of these followers nowadays think they leaders. You know, but hey, guess what? There's only one rope attached to this horse, you know what I'm saying? And you got to grab that motherfucker by the reins and guide that motherfucking horse where you deserve to be, where you belong to be, you know what I'm saying? You can't settle for less. You know you destined for greatness, baby. You know what I'm saying? What your hands could touch, no man could do. You know what I'm saying? What your hands could touch, no woman could do. You understand what I'm saying? You got to keep your hands freaky. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep your hands employed. You heard me? You got to keep your hands moving like they just came off like that motherfucker just came off the Addams family. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep that motion. You got to keep it moving. You got to keep it perpetuating. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of motherfuckers that'll take your places they had the opportunity to. It's a lot of motherfuckers that want your opportunities. It's a lot of motherfuckers that want your place just because they don't want you to, you know what I'm saying, receive what you was always destined to get. You know what I'm saying? You, like I said, bro, you might be sleeping on cardboard. You might be sleeping in your back seat, you hear me? You might be sleeping on your cousin's or your best friend or your partner's couch, you hear me? You might be in a homeless shelter. That's not your final destination. That's just part of the destiny. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people ain't destined to go where you are going. You did? You in a car with somebody, they in a car with you. You type in GPS, y'all destination, you realize that the destination going to two different places. That mean you in the wrong car with the wrong person. That mean you laying on side the wrong person. That mean you working with the wrong person. That mean you josing with the wrong person. That mean you depositing so much shit into the wrong person. You understand what I'm saying? You can't complain, you can't get mad when that withdrawal don't come out the way you expected. When it's time to cash that check, don't get mad when that balance ain't looking the way that it's supposed to be looking, like you thought it was. You know what I'm saying? Because how many times you woke up and you gave it all to God? How many times you gave it all for God? How many times you went all in for God? You understand what I'm saying? How many times you ain't question the Most High? You just say, you know what? I ain't gonna ask you why I'm going through it, God. I'm gonna just ask you how to get through it. That's the way to do it. You understand what I'm saying? Because you complain, you stay the same. You know what I'm saying? No pain, no gain. Izak, Spizak, Lizan, Dizan, reserves. Actions speak louder than words. You know, so like I said, man, you may have bills, you may have some type of situation, whether it's food, shelter, clothing, or transportation. You might be solidified in those different areas. Those different areas you may be working on being independent and having stability in those endeavors. You understand what I'm saying? But until then, you got to keep pushing. You got to keep your head up. You hear me? You got to keep your feet planted and see it through, because there's a lot of motherfuckers that want to see you fail. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers love to see you doing good, but they don't want to see you doing better than when they at their motherfucking best. Let's go. Famosa. Let me go ahead and check on our lunch real quick. All right. That's what I got going for lunch right now, y'all. Got a sweet potato. Y'all see that daddy barreling? I want to switch them over real quick. Hold on, let me grab a knife. Yeah, I got a new area, man. Got a new station. I'm stationed in a new area. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I'm working on getting a new cell phone. I got some new clothes. Just working on getting a new cell phone so I can edit my videos. Because this phone, like I said, this is my skateboarding phone. I can't do much but upload and type what it allowed me to type, because this bitch cracked up. And like I said, this was my designated skateboard phone, but my other phone got hacked because, you know, the system ain't like the video I dropped. They said fuck shadow banning me and blackmailing me and shit. The video I dropped, they had to fucking hack my whole phone. Make sure that bitch don't work again. Try to discourage me from dropping that truth. But hey, I'm gonna double back and I'm gonna make another video once I get a new phone, because the way I'm gonna make that video, I gotta edit it and do it in ways without me saying it, so I don't strike the algorithm and shit. But yeah, I'm working on getting a new phone, some new shoes, and getting a new tent. I need to get a tent. So if anybody want to look out on Cash App, man, I highly appreciate, love that, respect that. You know what I'm saying? But if not, shit, just leave me a like. You know what I'm saying? But this is what I'm working with right now. Show y'all how I got the setup. No, I ain't pushed this cord. I ain't steal this cord. Everything I basically found, man. Whether I was dumpster diving, I looked in the trash can, a recycle bin, I just saw it on the street. Like this cord right here, I saw that shit way back there in the woods, covered up and shit. So I was like, shit, while I'm stationed here, this is my area for right now. Let's build it back up. You know what I'm saying? So this how I got my oven. I got 2 burners. And how I utilize my fuel, I go behind the restaurants, you know, when they close and shit, and I go get me some of that Earl. And then you know, I go to these little stores or some shit like that, what's around the way, or the donation center, the homeless shelter. I go pick up some tissue, or I just go get whatever little flammable type of material I know that'll catch. And I let that marinate, you heard me, in the Earl. And then I mix a little bit of hand sanitizer, alcohol, to make sure it's really gonna be flammable, and I could get my food cooking. Hold on, y'all. Kind of, I ain't gonna say I'm getting a cold, but I'm fighting this shit, cause it's cold. It's cold as a motherfucker out here, right? And I be having to go to sleep in like 40 degrees in my sleeping bag. So you know, sometimes that wind be creeping in on my head and shit. You know what I'm saying, boy? I'm getting rid of it. But yeah, man. Like I was saying though, you know, you don't wanna, cause at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, you never know if you gotta sit back and watch the movie of your life. And you don't wanna sit back and see the shoulda, coulda, woulda shit. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my things that be eating me up and scaring me about life. I don't wanna sit back and then see what I coulda have done, or what I could have been. Or what my life woulda, coulda, shoulda. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that woulda, coulda, shoulda ass motherfucker. I'm the motherfucker that you need, not a needy ass motherfucker. You feel me? But you know, you just gotta hold on to that ticket. You gotta hold on to that lottery ticket, baby. You was born with a motherfucking lottery ticket. You know what I'm saying? How I ran that shit, I said, you looked at my eyes and you lied to me. Should have knew that shit wouldn't fly with me. Nobody knows it's been growing inside of me. If I'm in my ticket, my lottery, you was counting me out, you was hiding me. Now you want to come just to come rob me. You ain't rolling no blunts, getting high with me. Gotta cut you off, that's how I gotta be. Now I want me some profit and property. Digital dash without a key. Mahogany wood when I'm in the fleet. Her titties is out when we in the Jeep. My black rack on when I'm in the creep. You stumble and fumble and take a leap. I'm poking the whip, we go eat Philippe. You lacking, you slacking, you mad. That's the shit I cannot have. Them 50 of them hundreds, I'm throwing right up on my back. She fucking, she sucking, she gag. Rolling my weed, kick her right out of the pad. Riding around with the dash, the hands on my watch. I knew I would have, yeah, I knew I would have. On borrowed time as the tick in the top. Niggas tripping and I know they gon' flop. Gucci, my frames, Versace, my flops. You vibing with me or you violated or not. But anyway, you heard me? Let's go. Hey, that's what I'm saying, man. When you utilize your God-given abilities, man, you feel exuberated, you feel energized, you know what I'm saying? You really feel more inspired to go further, you feel me? You feel the need to go harder, you know what I'm saying? When you living in your purpose, when you doing the things that, hey, it don't matter how much money you get, how much money you don't get, you know what I'm saying? If this was your last day on this earth, what would you do? If money did not exist on this motherfucking earth, what would you do? The comment section is bust wide open for all of y'all. Let me know. You know what I'm saying? Because when you live in your life the way that the Most High intended you to do it, you're not gonna do what you want to do here. I'm telling you that right now. You're not gonna do what you want to do here. You think that shit, but it ain't gonna work like that. It's not gonna shake like that. You feel me? You gotta do what the Most High intended you to do. Well, God, that seed that the Most High bestowed amongst you, within you, you got to do that. You got to utilize that. You know what I'm saying? That's when you're going to be happy. That's when you're going to be in alignment. That's when you ain't going to have to worry about bills. You know what I'm saying? When you on God's speed, when you in alignment, all that friction, all that static, all them headaches, all that shit going to disappear. You hear me? But when you walking, when you not walking in your path, you know what I'm saying? You walking in the path of somebody else. You know what I'm saying? You walking down a road that was paved thousands of times. The road that you supposed to be walking, you supposed to be seeing no footprints though. Unless you looking behind you. That's it. If you walking on the road and you think it's the road to success, but you see 1,000 different footprints, you might be on the highway to hell, buddy. You may be on the highway to hell. You might have to bust a U-turn. Because guess what? That one way gonna turn to a dead end if you don't get off that bitch. And the only way to stay on the interstate of abundance is to live in alignment, you know what I'm saying, and utilize your God-given abilities. I don't know if you could do hair better than anybody in your community. You know what I'm saying? You might make beats better than anybody in your community. You know what I'm saying? You may be the first person in your family to be a real estate agent, you know what I'm saying, to be a broker, to be a stocker, you hear me, to be an accountant, you know what I'm saying? You got to follow your heart. You can't argue with your mind and your heart. You know what I'm saying? You got to follow your heart. You understand what I'm saying? But don't let your heartstrings be pulled all over the place. You got to take your motherfucking feelings off your sleeve, you hear me? And don't take nothing personal. If you ain't like that bitch up, don't take nothing personal. You hear me? Ain't nothing personal, you dig? But if we gonna call a spade when a spade is being called, you hear me? But if you ain't happy in life, you know what I'm saying, you underpaid, you undervalued, you underrespected, you know what I'm saying, you may just be planting yourself where you don't deserve, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, let me break some shit down to you, right? I forgot the name of this plant, but I'm going to say this. I forgot the name of this plant, but it do produce some type of orange fruit, and it sit tree and it sit low. I mean, let me slow down. It produce small ball bulb fruit, maybe like the size of a grape, and they very citrus. But I forgot the name of that fruit, right? The name of that tree, but it looked like a palm tree. But I'm gonna use this for example, right? If you take two palm trees, right? You take a palm tree and you put that bitch in New Orleans. You take a palm tree and you put that bitch in Miami, in Florida. Which one gonna take? That palm tree in Florida, because it's in a righteous environment. The temperature right, the soil right, the fertilizer right, you getting the right amount of sunlight. You understand what I'm saying? You can't take no palm tree and plant that bitch in Alaska. You can't take no palm tree and go on and plant that bitch in Switzerland and Greenland. You know what I'm saying? You can't take no palm tree and go plant that bitch in Canada. No, it gotta be tropical. It gotta be the righteous atmosphere. So that's the same thing. You or that seed that came out the pouch of the Most High, which is his hands, right? So in order for you to bloom and produce the greatest amount of fruit, so you to have the greatest harvest, you know what I'm saying? So you to have the strongest root structure, you got to place yourself where the Most High place you. You know what I'm saying? You got to be where the Most High wants you, not where you want to be. You got to be where you need it. You understand what I'm saying? Because when you at where you need it, you won't be feeling satisfied and gratified. You understand what I'm saying? It won't be you uneasy. It won't be you all over the place. You feeling like you in the eye of the motherfucking storm. But where you supposed to be, when you moving on God's speed, when you utilizing the God-given abilities that the Most High bestowed amongst you, you understand what I'm saying? The connections gonna come. You gonna walk into the faces, places, and situations that was always meant for you. You heard me? When you're not, you're forcing shit. You dig? You don't need to be forcing shit. You don't need to be nowhere you don't need to be like today. You heard me? I had an interview tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta see what they saying and shit, cause they hit me up on some other shit. At first it was a go, but now it's some static going on and shit. So I got an interview set for tomorrow, right? So I normally take a bath and shit with my bottled waters and shit, but the sun ain't been hitting like that. And if I take a bath out here in the cold, I might get a little under the weather, and I ain't looking forward to that. So I had to go to the homeless shelter, had to go to the little donation place, you know what I'm saying, where they got showers and shit like that. But when I went up in there, the whole time while I'm waiting, I'm washing my clothes and I'm waiting to take a shower and shit. My mind and my body, my soul telling me like, bro, you better not come in here no more. Don't come in here no more. I don't care if you need your clothes washed. I don't care if you need to wash your ass. You got to figure out some other type of way to do this, because you constantly going around these low vibrational people, these motherfuckers that gave up on themselves, these motherfuckers that hate your fucking light. You know what I'm saying? And you know why your light get dim? Because you utilizing your light in areas and places and faces and locations where it really don't resonate with you, where the Most High don't want you. That's why your light get low. You know what I'm saying? That's why your light get the dimming and shit. You know what I'm saying? Now you know what brightens your light. You know what make your light stronger. You know, because all chosen ones, we are all lighthouses. That's why a lot of us chosen ones, we separated from each other, because we are the regional leader, you know what I'm saying, of whatever region, whatever state, country, location that we are residing in. You understand what I'm saying? That's our region. That's our domain. That's our shit. Whether the witches or the warlocks, the Masons, the Freemasons, the mayor, love it or not, that's they fucking problem. We wasn't here to be in this world. We was here, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't here to be of this world. We was here just to get through this motherfucking world. And the people that's of this world, that's about this world, that'll die for this world, that'll die for a pair of Jordans, you know what I'm saying? They'll never die for the Most High. You understand what I'm saying? But when you utilizing your God-given abilities, you in alignment, you know what I'm saying, with your purpose, you where you need to be, you dig, you seeing who you need to see, and you in the situations that's bettering your situation, then guess what? Your light get brighter. You know what I'm saying? You start to bloom more. You start to glow more. You know, you start to glow way more better when you somewhere where people appreciate, love you, compared to where people gotta tolerate you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in that goddamn homeless shelter and shit, washing my clothes, waiting to take a shower. I'm like, man, these people don't like me. These people don't give a fuck about me, even though I don't care. I'm not here to interact with them. None of that, but it's just like, man, the environment got a lot to do with the energy you're going to be taking with you or leaving behind. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a lot of places, faces, and situations you really don't be needing to mingle in. You heard me? You ain't for everybody. I'm not for everybody. You ain't for everybody. You heard me? So the people that got value, people that got substance, you know what I'm saying? The people that could dive and shit, they could come swimming with us. But a lot of these motherfuckers shallow as a motherfucker. I would not. That's suicide. For you to jump in these people conversations, for you to jump in these people locations, for you to jump in these people situations, that's suicide, bro. That's why they say on the side of the pool, no diving. This pool is only 4 feet deep. This bitch is for shallow motherfuckers only. You know how to swim in the ocean. You a Marine, you hear me? You was a Coast Guard. You dig? And you trying to figure out why you not invited to the pool party. Because the pool only go to 3 to 4 feet. It's filled with shallow motherfuckers. It's filled with motherfuckers that gave up on themselves, that don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? You can't be surrounded by that. You can't be casting your pearls amongst swine. You can't be giving $100 to a goddamn penny. You understand what I'm saying? That's when the Most High give you your wings so you can fly to where you belong, man. Birds of a feather flock together. Water seeks its own level. And that's the reason why you glow. And that's the reason why it gets dim. You know what I'm saying? It gets dim because you somewhere where you don't belong. You know what I'm saying? You around people that's tolerating your ass. They not showing you no congratulations. They not showing you no type of appreciate love. You know what I'm saying? That's why your light glow dim. You at this ain't shit ass job. You know what I'm saying? You dealing with this fuck ass manager. They on that fuckery, that schmuttery. You know what I'm saying? And you not on none of that type of time. You know what I'm saying? You on upper echelons. You on elevation. And a lot of people want to stay on stagnation. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's not our nation. You know what I'm saying? We a different breed. We cut from a different cloth. And they see that shit. You walking in the building, motherfuckers complaining. You nicking them, bro. You a fucking machete. Why is you trying to lay on the same side that the butter knives lay in? You got your own designated section. Matter of fact, you get hanged on the wall. You know what I'm saying? The butter knives go in the dresser drawers with all of the other unsharp tools that came out the goddamn toolbox. You one of the sharpest tools in the fucking shed. You one of the sharpest tools in the toolbox. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know if you ever worked at a restaurant and you wash dishes, but they gonna tell you whenever you wash the dishes and they got sharp ass knives, never leave sharp ass knives in the water. You don't know who coming behind you, who coming before you, who could put their hands in that water and cut their shit up. So whenever they drop their knives off at the restaurants, they either put it in your hand or they put it in a specific bucket. The same thing you're supposed to do as well. You feel me? So every time you going somewhere or you working somewhere, you know, you putting yourself somewhere you don't need to be, you get cut like that. You know what I'm saying? You get nicked as well, you dig? And the people in that motherfucker get nicked as well too because you irritating they motherfucking demons, you know what I'm saying? The skeletons in their closet. Every time they fucking see you, they gotta realize and admit to themselves that they fucking gave up on themselves. You know what I'm saying? They complied with the system. They was controlled with the system. They lost their rebel card. You know what I'm saying? They lost their black card. They lost their anointed card. You know what I'm saying? They lost that card of all cards. You know what I'm saying? Why? Every time they see you, they get an attitude because you ain't give up on yourself. You might be struggling. You might be going through it. You know what I'm saying? A motherfucker